from just outside the perimeter of Atlanta, Georgia, and maybe inside the perimeter, if I'm not mistaken as well. Yeah, we got an insider tonight. We got an IT player with us tonight. Awesome. Right. Where? Oh Lord, she's eating her feelings. Where there's no one in the seats because fans are tired of the inevitable defeats.
That just makes me want to eat my feelings more.
I thought that was going to be some sort of reference to shitting the bed, or something, because it's not even that good. Because if you're consistently shitting the bed as much as we are, then you have a potty problem. It's not. Just,
we need a bedpan at this point installed in our beds, but it is the 5 Takes podcast, and we are back.
We're back, baby.
Why do you keep saying that?
We're back.
Why?
We've got Marichuk. We're back.
Yeah, we are.
He hasn't even stepped foot on the pitch yet, but we're back.
We are back. ... Baby? Question mark. All right.
Listen, guys.
Every time
he would have waited until the guy scored on his debut, as I understand he is prone to do, but then he wouldn't have had the benefit of being able to go on the radio and say, "We're back!"
and sound like a complete douche.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Well, he wouldn't have been able to do that before the deadline for season ticket holders to renew had passed. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
He needed to be able to say that on that
Timing
day.
matters. Timing matters. And his timing was fucking awful.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody want some feelings? I have feelings to share.
So if you're not on the video...
I'm going to drink mine. You eat yours. And, at some point, we'll meet in the middle. It'll be great.
If you're not watching the video version of this pod, we have Jennifer with us tonight who's eating Bluebell. Is that just plain old vanilla?
No, this is the cookie two-step because I am extra bent right now.
You're so fancy, girl.
Also, it was on sale at Kroger for $5.99, and I can't remember the last time I saw Bluebell half gallons for $5.99. I will have this thing in my freezer for like a year.
Wow, in this economy.
I don't know. Depending on the way the rest of the season goes, that might be finished by the end of
by the end of this pod.
So. We get a 20-day break from this hell, so maybe
there's a positive tonight. We lost, and we're spinning it as a positive. Kristen's here tonight. And we got Amy Emery with us tonight. Jarvis Legion.
Yay! Hi, Amy.
She appeared.
Amy's back.
She's back. She was on the pod when I wasn't here. When I was in the deep thick of Family Matters. I'm still in, but when it was full on crisis mode, she came in and enjoyed it. We really appreciated that. So much so that we brought her back for more pain. So
one
thanks.
of these days, hopefully we'll have something to celebrate on this podcast. And we'll get your opinion on happy things.
Oh, all right.
Well, I do appreciate you guys having me back. And Glenn, I am glad that I'm here with you this time. I do understand from Jen that you and I often have a little bit of a Jedi mind meld on our feelings about these games.
A little bit, yeah.
But hopefully I can bring a little something different.
It looks like we just lost Jennifer inexplicably.
Yeah, Jennifer, tonight the part of Jennifer will be played by the planet Mars.
Well, she did have that ice cream, and I saw.
I went to put the ice cream away because, I'm living a healthier lifestyle, and eating my feelings is really not part of that.
Supporting this
club
team right now
is not a healthy lifestyle.
Going to help you have a healthier
it's not
lifestyle.
None of us are living our best lives right now.
Not healthy for anyone. No.
And
it's not.
Before I get,
we're eating spicy foods. We're eating lots of sugar.
Yeah.
There's alcohol involved. None of it is good.
No, it's not.
One big giant pocket of acid reflux.
I'm gonna need.
But you know what's really good if you have acid reflux or if you want to live a healthier lifestyle, Glenn?
We're going to thank Mason Mill before we even get too far into this, aren't we?
You know what? I think it would be a good thing to stick to the positive things up front, because we don't want to lose the whole audience and have them not hear how great Mason Mill is.
We have never had a more accurate segue
into
that.
The top. That one's the best.
But accidental even of itself.
It's great. Well done. Yes, go see Mason Mill. If you guys don't know already, which I'm sure you do at this point, unless it's your very first time listening to this pod. And if it is, welcome. Hell of a time to join. But it's always a good time to go join Mason Mill. They are a local chiropractor in Atlanta, the best one in town. We have been going by I mean me and Kristen, because we've been long clients of them even well before this thing got kicked off. Since the days when Atlanta United used to be good. And even before they were even a club, we have been going there for like 10 years. They're phenomenal. Right. Their phone number is 404-321-0082. And Ashley or Rachel, very nice ladies, will be on the other end of the line and give you more information about the practice and get you set up with an appointment. They're open Tuesdays through Saturdays. Those Saturday hours are super, super clutch if you're working like a Monday through Friday type thing and can't break away during the week. But the good thing about them, too, is there's not a lot of people that will do this for you, especially in the medical field. If you find yourself with like an hour or two to spare one day and you don't have an appointment and you're like, man, I could really use an adjustment, call them, because in all likelihood, they're going to be able to get you in. And that's what I did on Thursday. I just found myself a little extra time, needing an adjustment. They took me on the spot. And it wasn't rushed when I was there either. Like, it was still the exact same treatment, the exact same quality. They're phenomenal. Go see them. You can visit them on the web, too, and make an appointment if you want to at masonmillchiro.com. All right, positivity done. Give me the floor for a minute.
Oh God!
Okay, he's got to take a sip of water.
All right, there's three of you. Okay. There's three of you tonight.
You need to do some facial exercises.
I'm gonna need probably one of you to just hold me back. All right, no, I'm gonna be rational about this, and I'm gonna try not to let my personal frustrations that I've been dealing with in just personal life, work life, things like that, bleed into this. Even though, as I think it was Kristen that reminded me, or it was Jennifer, that we come to this place. I don't want to. Quote Nicole Kidman from the AMC intro for magic, right? And as an escape from the frustrations you have to deal with in your life, and we're not getting that right now, and that's fine.
Not so much.
That's fine. Teams have ups and downs. We all accept that. It's part of basing your emotional well-being on sports. This is what happens. And all we ask for, I think, is during the tough times for the leaders of our various clubs, the front office staff, our coaches, presidents, so on and so forth, to level with the fans, to be direct, to be honest, and to show us a plan, a path forward. Give us some stuff and be transparent about it, all that stuff. Garth came on 92.9 earlier this week to announce when Marinchuk, who we all hope is great, our next big signing, 18 million, that the deal was done. And that's great. Something to be celebrated. A new playmaking number 10. I hope he has a lot of success here. The very first thing he said, I believe it was on the Andy and Randy show, was, "We're back, baby." Dude doesn't have a visa. So much as even kicked a ball yet. Now, the aspects of his game that have been touted the most is his soccer IQ, which we are in sore need of. It doesn't sound like he's particularly fast or strong. Fine. Okay. If you can make up for that by being quick because you understand the game, and you can be well positioned, like, a la Messi, walking around the pitch, but is somehow where he needs to be at all times to make a play. Great. That is what we need. To tell the fans with such brazen confidence that we are back because of one player. We are so far away from being back, whatever back is, than just one player.
It's Mr. Mix-a-Lot album.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm really disappointed. I'm really disappointed in Garth. He wanted 2 to 3 windows. He got that. Now we're asking for 2 to 3 more. Okay, fine. But we're back. So do we need these 2-3 windows? What is that? We don't even have a coach. We don't even have a full-time coach.
Yeah, what is he referencing of being back when he wasn't here to begin with? Where are we back to?
You come out in a promotional video a month earlier, and I understand as president, you have to sell things, the club and the hype and all of that, right? But don't bullshit a bullshitter. touting these new benefits for the fans after season ticket prices increase, which, look, good club, bad club, win or lose, economies are not connected to that, and prices increase on things. But still, to try to justify that by touting all these new benefits, which there really are no new benefits to season ticket members. The one they were promoting the most, or that he was promoting the most, that he seemed very hyped about, we're back, baby, was the buy back program for tickets. Like, if you can't attend a match, the front office, the club, will buy them back. Yeah, there's a catch to that. There's only a few-week window in January, and you have to know your schedule for the entire season and which games you can go to and which ones you can't. I don't know anybody, unless you've got a hard 9 to 5, and you know for sure you can't go to that game in October. It doesn't work like that. So an added benefit? No, I'm calling bullshit. It's not. It's not an added benefit. The other benefits that he was touting, we already have. And they're good. Like, look, I like having MLS Season Pass. I think it's valuable. It's a good value, really is. The season ticket member benefit of getting away tickets for free. It's nice, but it does not justify a price increase because not that many people are using it. But if you use it, it's nice. It's a nice gesture. And then the little season ticket gifts we get each year, which have slowly declined, in my opinion, over the years. Great. So it just feels very much like I know I'm being gaslit. And that's gaslighting. Like, as transparent and obvious as it can be. That really set me off. The fans, anybody on this pod, anybody listening to this pod, even your casual fan who maybe isn't as invested and hardcore about it as we are smart, intelligent people. And they know where this club is at, and that we are more than one very good number 10 away from being competitive again. We have so many problems, and for him to come out and say that, man, you can sell the club and the idea and the future of what you want this to be, but it just doesn't feel good. And I'm more upset at the messaging than I am at the results right now. Results come and go. President can't control that players sit to bed and get injured, and that's fine. But man, it's not good enough. It's not good enough.
All right.
Anyhow,
all right.
Thank you for letting me get all that out.
No, so let's just
off your soapbox, Glenn. Amy, you go first.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this pod hears from us enough, so you start.
I was just going to say that I think that if I had to analyze why that particular 6-minute interview rubbed you so the wrong way, it's because it did feel so disingenuous, like you said, but also like it didn't seem to me like Garth, even like from the way that he's spoken to us from the beginning, and kind of the biggest thing that I've taken away from him as opposed to like Darren is I always felt like Garth was leveling with me. Like,
sure,
here is where we're at. This is our goal. We've achieved it. We've not. He's very, to the point.
Well,
whereas Darren was always, but Darren was always a salesman, right?
Yeah.
So, it helped that when Darren went out and took these big swings, the team backed him up. And right now, what's happening is that that Garth is out there cashing checks that the team can't support.
Yeah.
And that's fundamentally why this is such why this rubs you so much the wrong way.
It's a bounced
it's my
check.
opinion. And I agree with you.
A bounced check. That's very good.
All right, Kat, your 2 cents.
My 2 cents. So one of the things that I took away, two things. One in particular is we're back, baby. Well, what are we back to? And I'm you weren't here when it was great. It's kind of like the MAGA thing where they're like, make America great again. It's like, well, when are you talking about?
And also he wants to take the club in a different direction.
I'm just using,
he wants a new model.
I'm getting to that. Hey, my turn.
He wants a new model.
I'm getting to that. Fuck off. So what is he saying we're back? What are we back from? Because since he came in, we've sucked. Okay, so what are we back to? Because he doesn't deserve to have that identity.
We're back to sucking.
Well, I guess, but he doesn't get to.
We're back to Atlanta-ing.
Listen, he hasn't earned that yet. he wasn't here when we were great. So we're back to what? We're back to the same old crap that we've been in since you got here.
He doesn't know what it's like to be spoiled.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't know what it's back. We're back to what? To the same thing that we were when you got here.
Yeah.
Okay? That's number one. So that's the
maybe
arrogance
worse
of it. Because I'm like, so wait, you're using one of our phrases because you think
what's
you
number
can?
Kat, what's number two? What's number two, Kat?
The second one was exactly what Glenn was trying to steal from me, which is in that 8-minute interview, he completely has negated our entire identity, which was from the beginning, we said we're I liked what they did. We didn't, two teams joined MLS the same year, Minnesota United and Atlanta United. Minnesota said, we're going to get grassroots players and we're going to build this team up. They got a couple of designated players, but beyond that, they were like, we're going to start small and we're going to build. We didn't say we were going to do that. From the get-go, they're like, we're going to spend money. We are going to get big names, big players, and we are going to make a splash. And we did. They went out and they got Miggy. They went out and they got
young
Joseph.
players.
And young players.
That we didn't sign
very
Giroud.
Talented. No, but very talented.
Talented,
players,
but maybe unproven yet. That's been the model.
But they still said we're going to spend and we want to be good from the get-go.
Yes.
Right? We want to hit the ground running, and we did it. And that's exactly right. Then at the same time, the academy and the twos was always part of our equation, which was build the homegrowns, build the grassroots players, bring these younger players in and develop skills. It was all, you can see that. It's been part of our DNA from the beginning. And what I got from that 8-minute interview was that he wants to move away from that because it's, for lack of a better term, not working. We need wins. We need to turn this team around. We need to change something. And the best way he can think to change that is, he said, we're done with all of this shit that we've been doing. We're going to bring in big names. We're going to spend money, and we're going to get we're going to change. We're going to change everything, and we're going to win. And it's like, wait a minute. There's a lot of that everybody really appreciated about this club. And that's what I was saying earlier to Jennifer, is I was like, look, anybody that you haven't lost already is going to go, because now we don't have that to even fall back on. Now that sort of that heartland of what we are.
The biggest problem that this club has right now, right, is Garth walked into a layup of a situation. He didn't have to lift a frickin' finger. He had the best, biggest, most visible, vocal fan base in the league.
Yeah, he didn't have to build this club.
He didn't have to do any work.
Right.
To bring people into the building.
That's right. We were here.
You were here. We were all here.
We were ready.
And all he has done in the last year and a half since he's been here is chase people off, right? And not just any people. We're talking about, and I'm not going to name names, but we're talking about the people that make it go.
Yeah.
They're the ones that are currently walking away from their season tickets. These are day one founding members. These are people who put in countless volunteer hours to make this whole thing go. And, again, you can look at your sales metrics as a businessman, and therein lies the difference. And therein is, I think, really why we're all so upset, Glenn, and why you're upset, and why I'm upset, and why all of us are upset is we all understand empirically that sports are businesses, and, they don't exist just to make us happy or bring us joy or provide our escapism or whatever, right? They ultimately are businesses. We're not idiots and we're not stupid.
Right.
But nothing up until the last couple of years about Atlanta United really felt like a business. It did feel like they gave a shit. It did feel like the club cared about what we thought, what we had to say, that we were part of something that now has just become another line on Arthur Blank's balance sheet. They have lost sight of what made this team so special to be a part of.
And I think for a while too, just to continue that line, a lot of that, the business aspect just sort of fell in line with the love for the team, because winning is good for business. So when everybody's happy and when everybody is, and I know that, I know you're kind of rolling your eyes about winning.
We've all said it. It's not just
about winning. I know that.
It is about
having the quality,
and it's about having
everything.
fun.
I know.
Like we said before we started recording, are you entertained? No,
none
of us are entertained.
No, we're not.
We're bored out of our skulls. You actually wanted us to pay anywhere from $35 to $500 to be in the building to watch this. I don't know what the hell that you call it, but it was so bad that your Homer-centric radio broadcasters were bored out of their skulls, and they said as much.
Did anybody fucking notice how fucking quiet it was? And that's because your core members, the ones that you were talking about, weren't there because you are pricing them and boring them out of the building. The people that the casual fans that used to come to the games for no other reason except to support the club and because it was a good goddamn time aren't coming anymore because it's not fun. It's not lively. If you're not there to support the badge, you're not there for the city or the team.
And I think the Leagues Cup tournament, regardless of whether we had continued on in it or not, right?
Yeah.
I think Leagues Cup is the epitome of that disservice to the fans of MLS in general.
But look,
I would be okay with this tournament if they had commensurately increased the salary cap or expanded the roster size to allow both that and the U.S. Open Cup to be played concurrent with the season.
Right.
I would not have a problem with it because I think...
No, you're right, Jen. I think that's fundamentally one of the problems is that we're seeing a product that is the result of guys being exhausted on top of everything else. When you've got bad vibes and bad feelings and all this lack of energy, and on top of that, you're being asked to perform, at this level more regularly, more games. I mean, you could see it from the roster selection tonight. Williams needed a break. Yeah. Frankly, Lennon needs a break.
And how?
But we don't apparently have a replacement Lennon anywhere in the entire of Atlanta United.
No.
It was not the product that you want to see, but I also don't want to lose sight of the fact that it's really hard as somebody that really cares at your core about this team so much, because you want to be there to support the guys on the field and the guys that you can still see are trying to play for something. Some of the guys whose names are in these takes, right, that are out there that are trying to do something, but at the same time, I can't continue to just blindly follow somebody who seems to be so out of touch with how your core audience member feels about this. It feels like we're kind of being taken for granted, I think, at this point.
It's a hell of
They're
a
assuming
thing.
we're just going to keep spending on merch and keep spending on extras and keep spending on more games. And, there is a point at which, like, you look around and you're like, okay, how do I justify this ROI to my family? Like,
I think that's a good segue into take one for tonight, because that's basically take one.
Yeah, you're talking about guys on the pitch. I hate it for Pedro that this had to be his first match playing experience. That's what he got to see. A 1/10 full stadium, quiet, fans not into it, and why would they be? Because it was boring.
Yeah.
It wasn't good. And you can't blame the fans for not showing up at this point. The tournament doesn't feel meaningful. The product on the field isn't good. It's a bad showcase for the club.
Yeah. And look, we were saying too that not as many people care about Leagues Cup because it's a bullshit tournament and it's whatever. But I was saying to Jen earlier that it didn't used to matter. It didn't.
No, it didn't.
It didn't
show up for any tournament.
What game? That's what I'm saying. The fact is, it was a Sunday at 4:00. The team was,
and we had a chance to win a trophy.
Yeah, we had a chance to win a trophy in a tournament. If that's at 4:00 is a great time for a United game. Now, granted, the Braves were also playing, but they were a much earlier game.
That never used to be an issue.
But what I mean is that we're the only sports going on in town. So it's a great Sunday thing to do at 4:00. And you know what? More people decided to go to the aquarium than to come to a fucking do Atlanta United game right now because they don't want to. It used to not matter. People would show up in fucking droves. You couldn't
and
pack
I
the
don't
MARTA buses fast enough,
and I don't, just to be abundantly clear, I don't dislike the idea of building bridges between Liga MX and Liga MX.
Nope,
and
I got
and
no
MLS.
problem with that.
And
Open
both,
Cup is great for
and
that.
pushing quality in MLS, like the idea is great, but again, like the players union was revolting because they just can't physically keep up with all of this. It's unfair to ask them with the roster sizes.
Exactly. We talked about this before. Leagues Cup isn't the problem. US Open Cup isn't the problem. It's MLS rules and roster compliancy issues that are the problem. Yes, major leagues around the world play 3 domestic trophies, and even in Europe, with Champions League there, that some teams are in Europa Cup or Champions League, and then you're in the Premier League, you're playing for the Prem, the EFL, and the FA. Like, it's a lot of damn games, but if you have a deep enough roster with enough talent, you can manage it, and you can't here, and it's devalues waters down the product everywhere because you're not seeing good product. We didn't see good product today. Part of that product is number 2, Barto. Is this a hot take? I don't think it is at this point. It's difficult to call out any one particular player because everybody has been bad. Everybody has had really bad moments. But at the start of this season, and even a good ways into it, there was talk of, just at least for financial reasons, him having the DP tag. And I don't see DP level out of him.
No way.
DP players.
I don't think that he was signed to
league,
be a long-time DP kind of player, though, just in fairness.
What was he? I mean, he was signed to be not Nagby, but to be integral to this team and make us better.
He was signed to be a max TAM player and an impact.
Yeah. But
he was not signed. But I mean, I understand MLS accounting.
That's all I'm saying. To have the moniker of DP.
The point being is that he is at a salary level in this league, and he was brought in to be an impact player.
And he hasn't been.
And he is not impactful.
He's largely been a bit of a ghost.
Those types of players make bad teams better. We are a bad team. He doesn't make us better.
No, like you said, he runs what, 10 miles a match.
Yep, miles are there, but this is not track and field.
But he's got to be better on the ball.
There's a ball involved in this.
Yeah, he doesn't do great things. It's not like he does nothing. He doesn't do great things when the ball is at his feet. And I could say the same thing for Mayumba and for Jande and for Brooks as of the last 3 months. So it's not just him, but for the amount of money that we're paying Bartos and for what we brought him in to accomplish, he's not doing it.
It's unfortunate. Again, it's another move that, like, you looked at it on paper, you looked at video of him coming in here, and it was like, man, finally we get, a good 6 who's supposed to be the connecting piece, and like, nah.
So unfortunately, I think what we're seeing is just how integral Thiago was to this team, and how much he covered over.
Papered over a lot of
some
things.
Problems that we're now seeing from a cohesive standpoint with the team, where we're not. Always gelling.
As soon as Marinchuk comes in, we're back, baby.
Yeah, we're back, baby.
Are we not? I've been told this. People are talking.
Yeah, the most important person in that entire organization said that we were, so we should trust it.
I see banners in our future. It just has very strong mission accomplished vibes. For a little 2002, 2003 reference on the aircraft carrier.
If I could be even slightly the devil's advocate in any of that, is he maybe referring to the deal that he made? Because he's definitely done that.
No,
since he's been here.
I don't think so.
He's made very big deals since he's been here. They haven't panned out. So is this another one? Is this another really good deal that he thinks he's made?
Amy, I think
we're back. We're back as an organization that buys players. Good for you.
I think Amy made a really valid point there in that game breaker players, right? Which is what we were supposed to bring in. They cover up a lot of sins, right? Yeah. You can get away with a lot in Miami because you got Messi and you got, Busquets, right? You can get away with a lot in LA because you got Lloris between the pipes, and he's old and whatever, but he's
Hugo Lloris.
Yeah, he's Hugo Lloris, and now they have the prettiest man in soccer, and
big meaty French forehead.
God, I miss him.
Big 5-finger forehead.
I miss him at Chelsea
but
so
you know,
bad.
that's the thing. You know, the jury's out. We haven't seen Moranchek set foot on the training ground, so like, how could we know if he's going to be that guy? But again, the problem is, you know, if you don't have anybody willing to step up and make the team better, right?
I think that, yeah, I think I'm just not
as. The only reason I said that, by the way, about the deal. I just want to say because I'm like,
no, it's just a hell of a thing. It's a hell of a thing to say when
I know that's what I'm saying. I'm like, what else could he possibly
be? You're looking at changing the model of the club. You have no idea if it's going to work, but I guess you do.
Well, that's why I'm just saying. I'm like, what are we back to? That's the only thing that I was like a giant question mark.
We're back to talking all over each other. Moving on.
Well, what were you going to say, Amy? You were about to say something.
Go ahead. Yes, Amy. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So here's the thing though with Bartosz and why I'm not sure that I'm totally ready to like throw the baby out with the bathwater on that one. Is he is a guy that has struck me in the time that he's been here. Is better when he's comfortable with the pieces around him. For example, I've noticed he seems to be better when Dax is on the field with him.
Okay.
He's more comfortable, I think. He has more trust there. And that's not a knock on Jay Fortune. It's just seemingly the mindset, right?
But it is a knock on Tristan Muyumba.
But Muyumba does not make... Yeah, I don't think he feels as comfortable playing with Tristan in the way that he is being asked to right now.
Well,
additionally, I think that it speaks a lot to what Bartosz is bringing, that when Ronald Hernandez, who is the second most tenured player, I think, on the team now after Guzan,
how ironic
is out,
that?
and who has been absolutely critical for the team recently, when he's out and he's not able to wear that captain's armband, the team rallied around Bartosz. And they put that band on him, okay? So he's doing something from a contribution standpoint. Sure. You know, maybe that's psychologically the team trying to pick him up after the last time and saying, we have faith in you. You know, you could speculate on that. But I don't think that's the case. I think Bartosz has legitimately shown leadership behind the scenes and in different moments in games. He has been clutch at times this season. He has also been accident prone. It's absolutely true. He has also had some real bad giveaways, but for me, and I haven't done any empirical studies on this or anything, but just my eye test tells me that he seems to be better when he is more comfortable with who's on the field next to him. He tries to do less, and I think he does better with like a Dax McCarty presence as opposed to me.
There is something to say for that, where a player, you got to play to their strengths, use them in the best way possible. The little grace there. Fair enough. Yeah, that, and I agree with what you're saying. So it might be a bit harsh on him, but in the next,
it could also be that I'm just showing my true colors, in that I personally have a much bigger problem with Muyumba.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Than I do with Schlieff or
definitely.
A couple of other people whose names
I do want to say in my defense. There's nothing to get out of Muyumba. In 2 to 3 windows, we'll have the right person for Schlieff. Don't worry about that.
I just want to say in my defense of actually writing that take, we've had like for the last 4 matches takes on Tristan and his problems.
We have.
So we needed to mix it up because the poor guy is not as bad as everything is. Yeah, as bad as everything is. Like I hate to use one player as a punching bag on a constant, consistent basis.
Well, when it's that easy, who wrote number 3 about our?
That would be me. I tried to bring a little positivity
here.
Ahead. I don't know if it's a positive take.
Someone's got to do it.
It's definitely a positive take.
It's definitely a positive
take.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So last season, all I heard was, it's just our defense. Let's fix our defense, right?
Mm-hmm.
This year, our offense may be anemic, but our defense is stout, y'all. And it seems like we have a real last man up, next man up mentality on the defensive line. I mean, if you think about Luis Abram, I mean, he for me, if there can be a man of the match or a low-key man of the match out of this game, it's probably Luis Abram, who continues to do an absolutely thankless job of just coming in whenever it is that we have the whim to put him on the field, seemingly, who continues to challenge for minutes, and is the only reason that we've been able to keep any semblance of a back line together, he and then, Hernandez, who of course we miss sorely this game. And I think that his energy and Hernandez's presence was missed. But I do have some hope that our defense, if Moranchek comes in and he's the second coming of Thiago Almada, I don't know, maybe our defense has kept us in games that we had no business being in.
Luis Abraham's performance is in direct correlation to the length of his hair. He has been much better since he's grown his hair. It's true. It's fucking true. It's true. He looks better and he plays better. He's channeling his inner 2019 Franco Escobar.
Yeah. And what's really interesting about that too is that I would say throughout everything, even if he makes mistakes, Jennifer has been steadfast in her support of Abram.
Yes.
And that she has always believed, even if he makes some mistakes, which he has made a couple, and unfortunately some of them have been critical and they've led to goals against us. But to a degree, he has been one of the most consistent defenders that we've had, and his work rate and his ability to soccer think and his soccer IQ is higher, and it's higher amongst a lot of the ones that we have.
Well, and I think it also the veteran presence that we have with him, with him and having to have to play a lot of kids this season just because of the number of injuries that we've had, and and the role that Derek Williams is also surprising. Derek Williams surprised us all that he stepped into the type of leadership role that he has been. But I don't think you see the success that Noah Cobb has had, or even the success in more limited minutes that Efren Morales has had, if you don't have a presence in the back line like Luis Abram.
100%.
And you can say a lot of things that are wrong about this team. The one thing that doesn't really seem to be wrong is, playing center back roulette, because it's really not been on big gaffes that the center backs are making.
Right. And it seems to be that we have depth in our defense, even if we have to rotate people for injury reasons, or even because maybe they need a break or because they're not having a great game. When Abram came in, I was like, oh, Abram's in. Okay, good. It doesn't, I don't necessarily just go, oh.
I was far more concerned about the selection of other people today than I was of
Abram. Oh, yeah.
To be honest with you, I didn't think twice about it, because at this point, like all of the names to me on the back line, we've had everybody play significant minutes that is a center back for this club, right? And they've all stepped up. And, we saw another, young guy get some minutes today, and now he wasn't a center back, but I thought, now I'm going to lose his name. And
You're talking about Matt Edwards?
Yeah, Matt Edwards. I thought he did very well in the minutes that he was given to come in, and that was really critical. That's another academy player, that's another guy stepping up, right?
Yeah, but they want to go away
from the lower team.
I don't
think that I don't know what you're. Maybe I missed an interview or two, but I don't think that we're going away from that at all. I think we're leaning more on the academy.
Not from the academy. I don't think we are.
Yeah, no, we're not.
We're going away from the model of buy young, sell high.
Yeah,
is what I heard.
Yeah, he wants somebody that's more in their prime,
correct,
and we will see how that pans out. I guess.
Yeah, the specific purchase of Marinchuk, it just feels like that's what he's doing. That guy is an established player. Mm-hmm. He is not the Thiago Almada from South America. Bring him in here, build him up, let him play 4 seasons, sell him high. That's not who this guy is. They're going out and buying a franchise player in him.
Yeah,
which is what I thought they were doing with Gigi too. We knew what we were getting into.
I think that was the plan.
That's what I'm saying.
I
do think that that's what they were doing, but that's what they're doing with him. They have absolutely this is a 5 or 6 year contract guy that they're trying to bring in.
So that was the plan, but now we have to reset the plan because the plan didn't work the first time that we tried.
But I don't think it means a de-emphasis on the academy side.
It's just the way that particular interview, the direction that he was claiming. He didn't put any emphasis on the homegrown. He didn't put any emphasis in bringing the young guys up.
But I think
all to me.
I think fundamentally, though, you can't have success in MLS if you don't have a good quality academy system. just again,
and our academy system.
I think you also have to look at where Garth came from, guys. Like, I think that's evidence enough, right?
Yeah.
Garth is not gonna. I just can't see him going away from the academy. No. He came from RSL, where there is they critically still use their academy, and Seattle, where they also critically use their academy. To me, everything that he has done has been following the Seattle model to a T, and predictably so. He is bringing.
Does that mean we're getting Schmetzer in next season?
I don't know. I think that Pineda was supposed to be our Schmetzer, and you know candidly, Jennifer, that I was probably still the only person left on the Pineda bandwagon.
No, you're not. Okay. You're not the only person left on the Pineda bandwagon, because our good friend on Twitter, OMR13.
Oh, still there? Yeah.
He's still following us, even though he's given up on the team.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
He said Pineda got scapegoated. Yeah. I lost count on how many times I zoned out. This team looks lethargic. I want to blame Rob because his flaws did show up today, but this time it's on the front office and Garth. Doubt I go to another game until next year. Thanks, y'all, for covering the team. So you're not alone, Amy. You're not alone.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I think that he is trying to get to a place where we have more, let's say, Nico Ladero type guys that are synonymous with the crest, right? And I like that direction conceptually. But
so far the execution hasn't really worked out the way anybody
like you said, the marketing is not landing at this moment in time. But I hear you, Kat, in terms of like the change of direction. I just don't think they're going to go away from the academy. At this point, your academy is the only thing keeping this season afloat.
It's true.
Okay. And that's how many homegrowns have we relied upon in this process? And
but you know what
we've yeah.
Well, and is that really a testament to the quality of the academy and the way it's been built and the way it's managed player development? Or is that a testament as to how bad our physio staff is?
To be honest with you, Jennifer, and this is probably me picking another fight that I shouldn't, but earlier on in the season, I told you that Carlos Bocanegra is my MVP for this team. Okay. I am standing by that assessment. All right. I'm just telling you. Very unpopular opinion. I get it. But
you really don't want to have friends anymore, do you, Amy?
Listen. His signings, his dumpster fire signings, have kept us with nearly any respectability that we have come from waiver Derek Williams, loan Daniel Rios, TRA has been a quality signing. Saba was a quality signing. Yeah, maybe Zonde and Muyumba were having some, buyer's remorse, whatever on, but who knows? That could be that they don't have a maestro right now. We don't know. And then the academy, who has been here from the beginning and an integral part of building the academy.
That's true, 100%.
The one guy that's still here from day one, okay, is Carlos Bocanegra.
Yep.
So
it's fair.
Come at me, Twitter. Come at me, whatever.
No,
I'm not popular.
It's
Boca in.
It's actually
okay?
it's factual.
Okay,
it's factual, and like he can get and has been scapegoated, like Pineda has. Doesn't mean we can't hold people to account, but everything you're saying is also true. There are two sides to it, I think, and who is it on Twitter? Pedophiles or Spoon? How do you say it?
Pseudo?
Peto? Spun pedo.
Petophias.
Boy, I murdered that. I murdered it. Look,
me too.
They think, because I don't know, male, female.
I'm assuming Spanish pronunciation here, by the way.
Sure.
With the double L.
All right.
The thing we're missing the most, and I agree, is a personality, a strong voice, a leader in the locker room. We don't have that amongst the players. We just don't have that Joseph type or whoever, insert name here, that can command the respect of the team, rally them, everyone kind of listens to, respects. I mean, I'm not trying to say Goose can't be that, but hasn't been, obviously, not enough.
We can't do it from the bench either.
Correct. Also that.
So,
yep. But I just wanted to call that one out real quick before
I think McCarty has tried to assert himself in that role.
Yeah, we saw in that video, but that didn't work.
Well, and if he's not on the pitch every minute, which I think maybe is what you were going to allude to there, Amy, if he's not on the pitch, we can't do it from the bench. And that's why, I have been questioning why Bartos has the armband. But if the other thing that I've been saying for a while is that it can't necessarily look, it can't be the keeper, only the keeper, because at any given time, he's all the way on the other side. You need to have that active voice that actually is moving up and down the pitch. Not that they can't physically hear him, but it feels, I've always kind of felt like it needed to be a midfielder, a Jeff Larentowicz type person, a Michael Parkhurst type person that's always on the pitch, that has the ability to get in everybody's ear.
My captain.
That
there is one player who's leading with his play. Who wrote up number 4?
That would be me.
You're not wrong. It's Saba.
He is another.
It is the season of Saba.
Yeah, it is, and he is a perfect example of a different example, if you were, of what Amy was talking about earlier in reference to Bartos. Because I think that a lot of Saba's shortcomings, I wouldn't even call them that, because I think that he is the only kind of shining light that we don't deserve right now on the pitch as far as a skill level. He plays at a higher skill level than just about everybody else on the pitch, but at the same time, even that bar isn't high enough, because even when he's at his best, he's still not scoring. Like,
his skill level is so glaringly above everyone he's playing up front with. They can't keep up with him. And
so that's what I was going to say, is that will he shine better when he has better people around him?
He seems
much like Bartos may shine better when it's like, as much as I hate to admit it, the Messi effect, right? That's what Glenn's been claiming from day one, is that his level of skill demands that the people around him raise that skill level up. So does Saba shine better when he has better talent around him? I absolutely
think so, because the amount of times,
that's why I hope he stays.
The amount of times we see Saba go like that, like in frustration because the ball didn't come back to him, the pass that he threaded in.
Where were you? Yeah,
the ball wasn't run onto, or whatever he's anticipating should happen doesn't happen. And you see that with really talented, skilled players that play alongside maybe a little less talented, skilled players. Are like, dude, how did you not know that I'm making this run?
Make the run.
That I'm going to pass the ball. You got to know that that's what I'm doing. How are we not on the same page? Right. We ain't even reading the same book.
Yeah, not even in the
that's
same
what it feels like to me.
Yard.
So I fully disagree with Zilf on Twitter, who questioned Saba being praised because, he was as bad as everyone today. Look, Saba's had bad moments. Maybe he could have done better on the header, perhaps. Sure. And I realized,
I don't know that he could have done better. That was a great save.
Maybe not. No, but what I'm saying is, Saba, yes, we're praising him, and I realize that right now, comparatively speaking, with the rest of the players, low bar. The bar has been set low enough to trip over.
Very much so.
Okay?
But
I get it.
The bar right
yeah. So that's however high that is, and that's why he's getting the praise, because he has been our most consistent. And
nobody wants to listen
to
us whine and bitch and moan about everything and how bad everything is and whatever.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm having a great time. I'm having a great time. I don't know what you're talking about.
But it's true. I try to watch, if especially if I'm going to give somebody praise, I try to be very critical on how they're doing, especially in a bad situation. And I think that Saba's soccer IQ is very, very high. Mm-hmm. If anything, high. What I mean is higher in comparison to the rest of the IQ that's on the pitch right now. And Jande,
if there is,
whoever this Zilf, if it's XILF, as in Jande, I'd like to fuck. Go ahead.
I don't think that's what it is, but
I was literally like almost hoping that he was gonna get that red card.
Wow, Kat.
What?
Tell me how you really think.
I don't think it is. I think he's been around longer than the Jande signing.
Was it XILF? Because tell me.
No, it's no, but it's not that at all. There's no F.
Definitely not reading.
Well,
that.
PH.
When that red card kerfuffle almost took place, Lord. I would have been fine with him not coming back on the pitch, because I watched. He's just not fucking trying. Like, run, man. Run.
And look,
I know you can. And
you're not even being a Saba stan, because in your take you say even his skills represent the bare minimum of what it takes to win in this league. You're not saying he's some world beater out there.
I'm saying the other 10 people on the pitch need to be better, and then he'll be the lowest skill.
Of the other 10, there is the one in goal counts integral as well. Who had number 5?
Yeah, that's me again.
Do it. You're not wrong. We talked about him before too. Heir apparent? I've got questions.
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of things that I like about Josh Cohen. I want him to be successful, all right? But for anybody who is questioning why Guzan still has the job, I'm sorry. His distribution and ball handling skills alone are the answer to that question. And that's me setting aside the fact that I don't know that I've seen the leadership that I need to see out of him in organizing his back line in the way that Guzan. Now, I'm a member of the Goalkeepers Union, and I may have some very particular opinions on this. And I like a keeper that is more vocal. I like a Guzan style that's going to get out there, tell the guys where to be, tell them what's what, you know.
Me too.
Pick them up, dust them off, or whatever. Whether it's because it's not Cohen's net yet, and maybe that's it for some guys, you don't feel it till it's really yours, you know, or if he's just a different style of keeper. But between his distribution foibles and his, you know, lack of it's just for me, it's not enough. You've got to be more than a shot stopper.
Yep.
And I think that at times we've been so obsessed with the fact that Guzan, though he's had an absolute renaissance in that area this year.
Sure he
but
has.
Previously, I think the criticism of Guzan was that he wasn't a shot stopper, right? In that sense. Guzan's qualities in net for Atlanta United have always been palpable in the way that he organizes the line and asserts himself on the field and the way that he establishes that leadership. And you can see the difference between when he's there and Cohen is in goal. And so, Josh, I hope that you're getting some information from Guzan, whoever his skill coach was, you know, on distributing or whatever else. But you've got to have some work on that in the offseason.
You think we exercise the option for next year? 40-year-old man in goal? What do you think?
I would love us to. I absolutely think that we should, if it's a reasonable number, because what Guzan brings you in the locker room, in leadership, in cohesiveness, in personality, and you've got a fan problem right now. And Guzan is a guy that the fans like and want to be around. And if he wants to still be a part of the club and be involved, I would take him in whatever capacity that is, because I have not seen anything out of anybody that tells me that we have such a bright future star, whatever, that we don't need the polar bear standing on the sideline.
That's a good argument. You know. You make a really compelling case. If the number's right, if it's not exorbitant to the point where we can still put money towards the future. And I bet you Goose is a club man through and through. He is as much Atlanta United as anyone. He will do
He's already taken a pay cut once for this
He'll take
team.
another one because he loves the badge, man. Because he plays for it.
Yeah, and I think I said that too when he was hurt and we brought in interim keepers and we were trying to decide what we were going to do if he was going to come back to full-time status or not, is that whatever we can possibly do, keep him on the team, bring him back, if anything, to help bridge that gap between himself and whoever we do elect as the quote heir apparent, because his skills, his his history with the team, and like you said, his presence in the locker room, all of that is only going to be a benefit to the rest of the team. So what
I will give one caveat though. I have one caveat though on that. I think Guzan, if he does do that, has to be willing to accept that I don't know, unless he's the starter, he can't wear the captain's band anymore.
True.
And that's the only side of that is difficult for me. It has to be understood. At some point, we have to have a changing of the guard.
Yeah.
A true one.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that person hasn't maybe come out yet.
And Goose can be part of that transition, but it would be nice to have him here. And selfishly, I want a better send-off for him than this crap. You know,
well,
a hell of a way to end your career.
And his injury wasn't the proper send-off either.
No.
And now he's come back and he's had a hell of a season. We haven't been able to give him anything back.
I know.
But, you know, he's had a fucking hell of a season to come back from injury when everybody
like I said last week, if this team was playing halfway decent soccer, you couldn't keep him out of the conversation for goalie of the year.
He'd be vying for gloves.
He's been having goalie of the year performances that he has not been rewarded.
The man saved a penalty this season.
Boneheaded mistakes.
He did.
You really again, and it goes back to what you said in your take. So much of what has gone wrong with this team, unfortunately, does not lie on the defensive spine of this team in the center backs and the goalkeeping.
And that's got to be really frustrating for those players that feel like, I mean, look, it's not the NFL where the offense and defense come back on the field and they switch, you know, but they got to be like, God damn, man, we're back here doing it. We're keeping 0-0. We're keeping 1 goal. We're keeping the team in it.
We're keeping you in this, and you can't find the fucking net.
So we got quality in our third, and you don't got quality in your third?
And all Jande can find is fucking Vine City.
Moments. That's all Jande has. It's all Muyumba has. It's all a lot of players have.
So interestingly enough, Glenn, I don't know if you listened to the entire postgame. I listened to the entire postgame because I'm a glutton for punishment.
I was going to say, I'm sorry.
I did not listen to the post game. I'll listen to it tomorrow. Maybe.
So one of the things, and I believe Jason Longshore is very, very correct about this. Given the production that we're getting out of Danny Rios and Jamal Tiare, everybody's been talking about, oh, you got to bring in a 9, you got to bring in a 9, you got to bring it. Nah,
I don't know. I mean, those Boca signings.
We need a left winger. We need a left winger, something fierce, because nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, any combination of anything has worked on the left side for us this year. They've tried Jande. They've tried Mascara. They moved Caleb up. They moved Hernandez in. They moved Saba over. They've done everything that you possibly could with the people that we've had, even when we had better people.
That's right.
And nothing has worked.
Yep.
Honestly, I think that maybe there's a chance, though I don't think he's quite there yet, but I always assumed that we were just trying to hold out, hoping that Luke Brennan could make the jump next year.
He still
possibly might. And that may still be the case.
Then why not give him the minutes now? What the hell do we have to lose?
I don't get it, to be honest with you, on not giving him some minutes, because you're right, we're not getting production out of the left side. What I will say is that between Rios and Tiare, personally, I would lean a little more into Rios, only because, going back to your Saba take, Kat, the guy who seems to be the most on the same page with Saba at times is Danny Rios. That's why
agree.
And his brand of playing the striker, where he is coming back more to support and create, is doing more for the team right now than what Jamal is bringing. And it's not that I don't appreciate what Jamal is bringing. He's obviously done.
He's a great 20-minute guy.
He is, but he's a 20-minute guy.
He's a great, and he's great, and he will and has gotten goals that way.
Yep,
absolutely. And it seems like he's willing to accept that he's that guy. And you don't always get guys that are in that position that can.
And I love that about him.
They're willing to accept that this is my role. This is where I'm coming from. And I'd say that is probably the one bright spot that I try to hang my hat on is I do think that we legitimately have come across some players. And I think Jamal's one of them. I think Danny's really enjoyed his time. There are some others who truly seem to want to be here and play.
I can't be mad this season. I can't be mad at our situation at backup striker.
No.
Right?
No, it's been the best set of backup strikers we've ever had.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And who have been thrust into main role and have done well. It is not on them either.
Exactly that. We hired you for a reason. You had a purpose. You came in, you fulfilled it, and then we asked you to step up,
they did it.
And you've done that. It's the best.
Yep.
Both of them.
Yeah.
If we only had one, if it was just Rios or if it was just Jamal, I'd be happy with either one of them. But we've been lucky enough to have two. So,
but I still think if we're going to pull a bigger name brand transfer in this way, I think it's going to be a winger more so than a striker. I think frankly, I wouldn't be mad at it if they were, because I think they need to take their time, and I think they need to find another right fit in much the same vein that Joseph and Gigi were right fits for the attitude that position needs to be.
We got the big number 10. We've got the big number 10.
What didn't make a lot of sense, Amy?
Yeah.
What didn't make any sense there?
No, I'm saying that makes a lot of sense. like to do it that way, because the other thing that I think you have to factor in this time is, I think in particular with Rios, you see where the team has been pushing his stats a lot more and trying to push him to the forefront. But then at the same time, you've got to, even though Gigi did what we brought him in here to do, right? And I say that, as somebody who was very mad at Gigi, he put that number 7 on. The club has to be very careful and about putting a number 7 on another guy.
I don't think they will.
I just don't think you can do it right now, not with everything else going on. And if you've got a decent thing going with Rios, then.
But I think it will be a cold day in hell, or at least 10 years from now before somebody else gets the number 7 in this building.
We'll be back then. That's when we'll know.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm salty. Awesome. I'm salty about it still.
Okay, so let's wrap this up on a positive note.
Sure.
I got a positive focus for the week.
Bring it.
Let's fucking go, U.S. Women's National Team. Also, if anybody feels like the men's team underperformed, I'm sorry. Let me correct you. They exceeded expectations. They got out of group. Mm-hmm. They won 2 matches handily. And up until the last 20 minutes, they held their own with a very, very, very good Morocco squad. And let's not forget, didn't Morocco go to the semis of the World Cup last cycle?
Yeah, they were one of the Cinderella stories.
Well,
it's
a totally different team.
It's the under 23s,
yeah,
but still, 23s.
But I'm talking about a program that is absolutely acknowledged as up and coming.
Yeah,
and absolutely not a pushover just because they happen to come from Africa.
No,
and there's a lot of people out there with the mentality of teams that come out of AFCON. We should
be beating up on them, and that's disrespectful to the level of the game that they've got over there and the quality of players that are playing for big clubs and big leagues all around the world. Fully agree.
And in particular,
I'm still disappointed though, because the men's program just isn't at the level. We're 2 years away from the World Cup, and
I think you can look at the U23 though, at least as a bit of progression, positive progression. We hadn't made the Olympics in 2 cycles. So
more than 2 cycles, right? When was the last time?
Getting there was a win.
My God, Stu Holden was playing. I mean,
if you watch the games too, there were guys out there that you want to root for, that you can see are going to make a difference when they get, to the senior team. You know what I'm saying? Like Kevin Paredes. Great showing,
Yeah. Kevin was good.
Like, I'm just saying, I like McGlynn. There are so many guys coming up that I feel more hopeful, but you're right, Glenn, in that, maybe not in time for 2026, which was probably not. Which was the brief, which is why you're disappointed, right? The brief is be ready for 2026.
And it just doesn't feel like we are. I mean, it's good to be back in the Olympics. You've been away. It's good to get out of the group stage. It's probably a reasonable expectation. When you've been away for so long, you do that well, but time is of the essence here.
But like Jennifer said, on the positive note, the women's national team appears to be actually back.
Maybe I was just going to say, this is a team that is maybe back.
We're in our haze era. So, thank you. And they've won in a variety of ways. Ugly, pretty, this is a winner's championship mentality. Something Atlanta United knows nothing about.
And you're doing it with a front 3 that are going to be there and together for a while.
The trio is
doing it now already, like they've been together for years.
Yeah,
and they've really firmed up that front 3 too. They've really decided that that's the 3. And
Trinity Rodman is coming into her own as a playmaker,
and Sophia Smith too. How many? She's got 5 goals in the tournament or something like that. I know she didn't.
And you can see how much we miss Swanson
so much. That's what I'm saying. That's the front. That's the
killer
front
not having Mal there.
And it really showed a lot that this past game with Japan that Emma Hayes didn't swap them out. She did bring in Lynn Williams.
Raise your hand though. Raise your hand in this room if you were not like, come on, Emma, where are the subs? Where are the fucking subs, Emma?
Yeah. Yeah.
Kat, no. You agreed with no.
No, I totally agreed. No, I totally agreed. Only because we still have more games ahead of us, and the turnaround time is much shorter in the Olympics than it is in the World Cup. They keep touching on that, and it's true. You only get 2 or 3 days as opposed to 3 or 4.
2 days. 2 days of rest. They're playing on
and it's
Friday?
an 18-man roster
That's
instead of a
also
23.
You can't
which is
rotate as many
ridiculous.
people.
Right.
But I think that she's just really trying to. I said this to Jennifer. She's really trying to push the fitness level. She's really trying to say, look, just because the going gets tough, you can't give up. I want you 3 to go out there and find the goals, and she pushed them all the way into that extra time, and Trinity found the goal, man.
Boy, did she!
And I kind
think
of
it's
like
wow.
that.
Boy, did she!
Whew, I kind of like it.
It was a nice
I mean,
goal.
but I think it's showing the entire mentality shift of the team,
It is,
right?
and that's what I mean.
Because that USA team under Vlatko would have, I think, made a mistake against that Japan team out of frustration alone.
Yeah.
That would have cost them that game.
It would have been a
because
1-0
that
Japan,
that game was like every game against Japan, right? But I told my son before the game started, I said, listen, this is a 1-0 game.
Yep.
Period.
Yep.
Hey, 1-0s are
was.
hard to win,
there
man.
you
I'm
go.
almost more impressed at a
They're hard.
1-0 than I am like a 4-0.
It's incredibly hard,
Yeah.
especially against a Japanese women's team that is very disciplined,
Right.
very good, and excellent on the counter, and legitimately gave us, some scares. So
A heart attack with 3.
So I'm glad to have witnessed that game and to have been proven wrong in my angst, Jennifer, at not having subs. I was sitting there biting my nails, wondering when she was going to sub somebody too. But yeah, so.
only because they all looked gassed, and I just need to have like a 2-minute moment for the absolute fantastic tournament that Grima is having, and she's my player of the tournament. Gurma. Sorry, did I say Grima? Gurma, yeah.
Not Worm
She's
Tongue,
my player.
not Lord of the Rings.
Naomi's my player.
Yeah. One tongue, yeah. But no, she's
Naomi's
very,
my
very
player
well.
of the tournament. She is a rock.
Yeah.
She has cleaned up every mess they have thrown at her.
And Crystal Dunn.
But you know that my heart lies with Crystal Dunn.
That's what I was gonna say.
She is
they didn't even think she was gonna make the roster, and now she's in there, and she's not as a
Crystal Dunn
striker.
is the most versatile and underrated women's national team player of all time. In my
she's been overlooked too much too.
Yeah,
too much. Yeah. And Hayes seems to really see her and appreciate her, and it seems like she's really coming into her own. And I love, because Nysonger is really good, and she's going to challenge for minutes. But I love that Hayes sees that and says, you know what, then great, I can push Crystal up, or I can do these other things.
Right.
See, look.
It's awesome to see a coach really unlocking their
look at my face. Look at my face for the past 5 minutes. Why don't we just do a U.S. women's pod? Why are we doing this to ourselves? We have options. We have options.
We are when we're winning. Like, see how it's not just winning. It's just the positive movement and the vibe and everything of it. It's the coming up of everything. It just makes you feel.
Well,
good
maybe we should do an Olympic recap, since we will know.
Maybe so.
Since you're gonna have a month off,
we're gonna have a couple weeks.
You're gonna have a month off.
We gotta have something.
We do have time off. It's vacation, baby. Let's go. Where are we going? We going to Jennifer's hotel?
Baby.
Come on.
Yes, come to my hotel. I need the business.
Yeah.
I need the business. Come to my hotel.
If everyone is up for it, I'd love to do a wrap up pod on the women and maybe some other sports as well. I think that sounds fun.
It sounds fun.
Entertaining.
What about the fun?
Yeah, maybe let's do
it. When we do this, can we have a segment about Clark Kent, because he's my favorite?
Yeah, absolutely. And you can bring ice cream or whatever. We can have fun with this. We're doing it.
I won't have to eat my feelings, because the Olympics are freaking awesome and they give me happy feelings.
I could showcase my ball that I.
Wow.
Look.
Well, tune in for that, y'all. This is coming back.
Yeah.
Everybody
tune in, because you want to see Kat's ball.
Gosh, all right. And everybody, enjoy your 3 week mental health break. It's important. It's important. And
it really is, y'all. Go out there, have a couple therapy sessions.
Go get all that out, and we got 3 weeks until we're back, baby. All right. Thank you very much for listening. We appreciate it. Thank you for continuing to support Atlanta United Fan TV and Mason Mill and all of us. Thank you, Amy, for coming on and being so eloquent with your words and rational and finding positivity. It's not easy. It's not easy, especially when you got 3 other hosts who are just like pitchforks out, justifiably so. But we want to try to find, like, we don't want to sunshine pump and talk about things that's like not true and not happening.
I feel
but
like
you found
my pitchfork's not
things.
out. I did open the garage so that you could see my pitchfork. But my pitchfork is not in my hand, and I'm not full-blown Simpsons angry mobbing
Not yet, but boy, is it close.
The torches are lit.
They're
maybe
lit.
Still in their holders.
Even people like myself, if it doesn't get better next season and it is exactly more of the same, I'm going to think about not renewing. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to opt in for Leagues Cup because, quite frankly, I can find tickets cheaper on the open market, on the third market, after resale than what I would pay for them.
I don't know. I could have gone to Leagues Cup for free.
Right? $5-10
I'm sure you could have.
I saw people outside of the bends.
Figured that out,
I saw people legitimately outside the bends paying people to go inside.
Wow.
No, okay, I'm making that up.
Okay.
Please go to our matches. It's very strong W vibes. Please clap. Yeah. All right, there's your last political reference joke for the night. We'll end there. Nobody got it. It's fine.
Wow.
It's fine. People just don't think I'm funny, but I'm not funny. So
I was just waiting for you to throw a shoe and just like tap it off.
No, that was actually the perfect response to please clap because that's what he got. Is just silence. All righty, the shoe. I remember that.
Amy, I'll
credit
call
to
you
W.
later.
Bush. He dodged out of that thing. He dodged. I miss phone shoe. I miss so many things about this club. All right. We're gonna end it there. We will be back for an Olympic wrap up. Yeah, in a week or so's time. Talking about
call me. I'm available.
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna be talking about a medal. Bronze, silver, or gold, they're going to come away with something.
I will call you. Look, my shoe is predicting because it's my gold glittery Havana.
Oh, there you go. It's gold for sure. So says the shoe. So says the shoe. All right, y'all. Appreciate you listening. We'll be back in a week's time. Until then, y'all be good. We will be back.
We're crap, baby.
That was not a meow.
No, it wasn't, but it was better. It was better.